Hey, hey, how's it going? If you're new here, my name is Jan and I love makeup. And if you're not new, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you. Today's video is my picks for a starter bag makeup collection. I don't know. These are all amazing products that I love and think that if you wanted to curate your own small makeup bag, every one of these products I think will work for you. If you like stuff similar to me, if you hate this kind of makeup, then obviously this is not going to be fun for you. But I think these are excellent products to begin with or to add to your already fantastic collection. Okay, if you want to see all of my favorite must-have starter kit products, then let's get into it. Brace yourself, I'm about to have a very naked face. These are the products I think are really good, basic, must-have starter bag makeup. Makes sense? So I have a couple of options for foundation. I sometimes like super light coverage, just like it evening out, and I sometimes like full coverage, like pretend that there is nothing under my foundation that isn't perfect. Big pretending there. So huge fan of the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. I am normal-ish skin, super oily in my T-zone, so I definitely have to powder pretty much any face product, but I love that. And the CoverGirl 3-in-1 Outlast is definitely a more full coverage. I really like this for the days I just want to blank everything out. So I think either one of those, light coverage or full coverage, you can't go wrong with either one of these products in your collection to start out with. So that's what I'm going to do today. I am going to use the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. This is in the shade Medium 375N. And I'm going to use my IT Cosmetics Love is a Foundation brush. I really love IT brushes. For brushes, for I think a starter kit, anything from Real Techniques will be a win. They have really great brushes, and if you're wanting higher end, it's got to be Rephr brushes or Wayne Goss. Those are the two I have that I love so much. However, Ulta has IT brushes and I buy a lot of those. I really like the IT brushes for Ulta. They are mostly what I think of as affordable, but so good. Those are the first like higher end brushes I ever purchased, and I still reach for them all the time, even over my Rephr and Wayne Goss brushes. They're not natural hair brushes, they're synthetic, but they are really nice still. So as you can see, this still gives pretty decent coverage for a CC cream. You can still see all of my stuff through it, but it looks a lot better. So that's my foundation or CC cream done. I think it looks so good. Natural finish, nice coverage without being full or too light. So now let's talk concealer. If you are not new here, this will not surprise you in the least. I reach for the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer or the Wet n Wild Mega Last Incognito. I think both of these are so good. The e.l.f. Camo Concealer is definitely a bit thicker and has a bit more coverage, but I really like the Wet n Wild under my eyes. I don't have a whole lot to cover under my eyes, so I really like that for just a brightening effect. So that was the Wet n Wild, or the e.l.f. Camo, and this is the Wet n Wild. They're not the exact same color, but I think it'll work. I look like a crazy person. And I'm gonna use my Rare Beauty concealer brush for this. It's my favorite brush for concealer under my eye, but also around my face. It just works really well. I love the shape of it. I like the way it feels. I like how it blends in. My under eyes are 43 years old, so there's definitely some wrinkles, there's some texture, and this brush just helps the concealer sit really nicely. I will most likely dab over all of this when I'm done with my foundation brush, because that's what I normally do. The e.l.f. Camo Concealer is just so good. And it's really, really affordable. If you can be really, really affordable. It's affordable. I'm just gonna dab over the concealer with my foundation brush just to make sure everything's blended the way I want it. So good. I really, really like both of those products. Not even because they're affordable. They're just that good. I do also really like the NARS Creamy Concealer. I think that one's pretty darn good. But the e.l.f. Camo is just as good. So why spend 30 when you can spend like 5 or 7 or whatever it is? Okay, and since I look like a crazy person, I'm gonna go in with my eye primer, which is absolutely the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer. This formula is really dry. And it takes a second to get it loaded on your brush and then blended on the eye because it is so dry and you want to be careful with the skin on your eyes. But it's really, really, really good. My lids are so unbelievably oily. It's disgusting. And this keeps my eyeshadow looking perfect all day long until I wash it off. It just looks exactly the way I want it to, with no ruckus, no creasing, none of the oils come through. It's amazing. I would imagine applying that with your fingertips would probably be really nice and a bit easier, but that's not my jam. I am not putting my fingers in anything I don't have to. Okay, now I'm gonna go in and set all of that down with my setting powder. For this one, I have to give it to my Nakia Joy Cosmetics Velvet Finishing Powder. I think this is the best of everything I've ever tried. It's better than the Laura Mercier by like a lot. It is better than everything that I've tried. I haven't tried every single thing on the market. Of course, I'm one person with one face and a limited budget, but I've purchased this twice and will 100% repurchase. It's only available on her website, but so stinking good. My skin looks so good. And I mean, if we're being honest, at the moment, my skin is actually in pretty good shape, but this powder just makes everything look really, really nice. So if you're looking for powder that is worth every single penny, I highly recommend this. It's definitely a must-have. And for as long as they continue to make and sell it, I will continue to purchase and use it. That's just how good it is. Okay, next we'll talk about bronzer. This is one I actually forgot I had. I recently reorganized my makeup room and this was in the back of a drawer and I really like this. I believe the babies used this when they did my face. I think they all picked it because they all go for packaging. And this is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is in the shade Deep Bronze. It comes with a goofy little brush at the bottom, which I would, not even a brush, it's a sponge. It's a sponge on a little plastic handle. Okay, that's awkward. This is what it looks like. It smells like Physicians Formula stuff smells, which a lot of people really like. I'm not one of those people. Don't judge me. Just going to bronze up a bit. I've had this particular bronzer in 2 shades, the lighter one and this one. I don't know, I decluttered the lighter one, but I'm not sure why. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm a bit crazy. And in my heart, I am a minimalist. So if my makeup collection starts feeling too big or too out of control, I make my girls take makeup because it overwhelms me. I'm trying to remember that I may need to pick up and use or reference something I maybe didn't love. So I can't just declutter everything I don't like the first time I use it and don't like it. So I don't have this one in the other shade because that was before I remembered I didn't have to be a crazy person. So it's really nice. I like it. Works really well. I do tend to go in with a much fluffier brush because it is fairly pigmented. It goes on. And for blush, I have this Buxom Wanderlust Primer Infused Blush in the shade Mykonos. I heard amazing things about these. I have 2 shades. This is the lighter one. I also have a very cool toned berry shade. As far as like powder blush, this is beautiful. It looks amazing. It goes on really nicely. It can be built up or blended out to be whatever you want it to be. It's so pretty. And it has a beautiful sheen. So this would definitely be the one I would suggest in whichever shade blows your skirt up, of course. I happen to like this peachier shade at the moment, but the cool tone berry shade is really nice too. I should have looked to see what that color was and I could have told you, but no, I didn't do that. I really like that. It's very pretty, super easy. It's almost like you can't mess it up. We are moving right along. Boom, baby. For highlight, I had to give it to the Catrice Cosmetics Sungasm Face and Body Highlighter. Mine is a disaster area. It's so broken. Oh my gosh. It came this way and now the cover has just busted off. But it's beautiful. I think this was $10. And I'm pretty sure I've mentioned before that this will be something that I leave to my great-great-great-grandchildren. Like, I'm never going to use all of this. So just on a little highlight brush. Add just a bit more shine to that blush. It's beautiful. It's smooth. It's just really, really, really pretty. I mean, look at that. Stunning. So yeah, if you need a starter kit, oh, that was a bit much, Janice. Well, we're going with it. If you need a highlight that is just amazing, not even for the price, just amazing, don't sleep on this. I would pick it up in store because getting it shipped wasn't great for the highlight. So that's the face done. Super easy. I love all of these products. I feel like they're just easy to use. You almost can't mess them up. So yeah, highly recommend. Okay, let's talk about lips next. So I think hands down, the best lip liner you can use. This is the LA Girl Auto, what does it say? LA Girl Ultimate Intense Stay Auto Lip Liner. Any of their shades in this particular format are amazing. I love them. Highly recommend. They're affordable, so you could choose multiple shades to have in your collection, like I did, if you wanted to. I think it's very much of my Lips But Better shade. It goes on super easy, wears really, really nicely. Is not drying at all. And I think like a must-have starter is the NYX Shine Loud Born to Hustle. This is the dual-ended one with the lipstick and then the gloss. This one wore really, really nicely, if memory serves. It's a nice neutral color, so I'm just gonna apply that and let it dry. While my lips are drying, let's talk brows. I flip-flop all over the place with brow pencils. I really, really like the Ulta Beauty Ultra Slim Brow Pencil. This is in the shade Dark Brown. And then I also have the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer in the shade Dark Brunette. This one is slightly cooler toned than the Ulta one. So I typically go in with the L'Oreal one at the end of my brow and the Ulta one at the front of my brow, and also to put my moles back on my face. So I'm just gonna do my brows real quick and I will be right back. And for brow gel, you won't be surprised to know, I think everyone should have the e.l.f. Brow Wow in their makeup bag. I think it's amazing. So I'm gonna chuck that on over the pencil in my brows. I did recently just dye and trim my eyebrows, so they were looking pretty okay-ish prior to piling on all the product. But the piling on is most of the fun, so let's just do it anyway. And my lips are dry, so we're gonna go with the gloss end of this NYX Shine Loud and get that going. It's just so pretty. And I'm not a gloss girl. I don't like it. I want my lipstick to be on and stay on. I don't want to have to think about it. I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna drink. I don't want to worry about it. In this, I can have the best of both worlds. It can be glossy and stay on. I'm a big fan of that. I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes, like a lot. Not as many as a lot of people on YouTube, for sure, but still a fair amount. And if I had to pick just one that I think everyone should have in their makeup bag, starter or not, it would have to be the Tarte Maneater palette. My best friend introduced this to me and I sat on it for a long time. It was in my cart and I just didn't get it because it was on the more expensive side of eyeshadow that I had till that point purchased. But then I did buy it and I fell completely in love with this, with the formula, with the colors, with everything. I bought a backup and it's sitting in my drawer and nobody can have it. It's going to be mine for when this one is all gone, because I will not have this in my collection. If you don't have it, I highly suggest you pick it up. It can be light and natural. It can be dark and smoky. There's a couple of like berry-ish tones in there. There's this really warm brown color. I mean, you've got options. You could get several different looks with this palette. I think it's so good. I'm gonna go in first with the shade Saucy. I know you've seen me use this before. I love this palette, but we're gonna do it now anyway. I think I'm pretty much gonna keep it super simple today. And this is one of my It brushes, It for Ulta brushes that I really like. It just blends out so nicely. I really do think the e.l.f. bite-size palettes in truffles and brown sugar or cream and sugar are definitely similar to this. So if you really love this color story and think that you would really like this, maybe pick up the e.l.f. ones if you know this one's out of your price range, because they are just as good. I was so surprised by that. But this is worth it too. This one goes with me, you know, back in the day when travel was a thing. It's just so easy to play with. Yep. Okay, and since I am just gonna keep this super simple, I'm gonna go with this shade right here called Passion. Literally a 2 eyeshadow look. Lately, I have really been liking matte shadows. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with that shade Saucy and just add a little more right down here for some depth in the outer corner. And blend the two together. And that's it. That's a full eye look. 2 colors. Gorgeous. I'm gonna do the other eye and I'll be right back. Okay, that's both eyes done. And I believe the shade Passion actually has a bit of a sheen to it. I just couldn't see it as far away from the mirror as I was. I just think it's so nice. So I used 2 shades out of this. That leaves 7 more to play with. I mean, you could really have a good time with this palette. Okay, eyeliners. I like black and brown equally depending on the look that I'm going with. And I love these LA Girl Ultimate Eye Intense Auto Stay eyeliners. I think that they are just fantastic. I was loving the Milk Makeup brown liner in the shade CEO. It was my jam, but they don't make it anymore. So I've been trying to find a dupe, and I think this might be as close as I can get. So I'm gonna put this in my waterline and I'll be back. Okay, I lined my waterline top and bottom with that LA Girl eyeliner. And I think I'm gonna take the shade Midnight, just apply that to my lash line really, really close, and then just blend it out with a fluffy brush. Just a clean brush, just to blend it. Last but not least, you will not be surprised that my mascara pick is 100% the Essence Bye Bye Panda Eyes. This makes my lashes black. It stays where I put them. It doesn't add a whole lot of length. It doesn't add a whole lot of volume. It just makes my natural lashes black. And it doesn't smudge or flake off. I like that I can just depend on this to darken my lashes. It's just so good. Nobody ever talks about this. Ever. Like ever, ever. Sometimes you just need a basic lash. And that's what you get with this. There's no bells and whistles. It's just gonna be like your favorite pair of jeans. Just cozy and easy, and you know what to expect. And I like that for that reason. So that's it. That is a full face of what I think are must-have starter kit makeup products. I love all of these. And if you are looking to start a makeup bag or, you know, add some stuff to it, I highly recommend all of these products. They're my faves. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Share this video with someone you think might like it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Be good, and remember to be kind to you.